Turn the page, live your life every day. Don't let anybody stand in your way.
Mike Foster here. How you doing? Today's the Versus. Today I'm going to talk about the NBA, that's the National Basketball Association, versus the NHL, the National Hockey League. Now, you folks that don't live in the United States, you might not be familiar with these leagues, but I would say you should. They're both really exciting. One is, of course, basketball, hoops. You know, it goes back to Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, all the way up through, Michael Jordan and some of the great players of today, Steph Curry, who shoots that three-pointer. And I'm going to talk about the merits between both leagues. And then there's the NHL. And I've been a hockey fan since the 1970s with Bobby Orr and Phil Esposito. I remember Wayne Gretzky, how great he was. And I got back into hockey in the last 7 years because of the Las Vegas Golden Knights, the Vegas Golden Knights. And they just won the Stanley Cup last year, so I'm a huge hockey fan. Just went to a couple games in Vegas, and it's an amazing atmosphere. I've been to Boston Garden. I've seen the Boston Celtics play. I grew up in the East Coast. I was a big Celtic fan. And I like the Sacramento Kings for a little while. I don't mind watching the Warriors right now. Probably the Celtics are my favorite team. And again, I grew up in the East Coast with the Boston Bruins, and I followed hockey. So what do you prefer? NBA, basketball versus NHL. Let's talk about the differences in them. And they're different games. All these games have evolved over the last year. And the NBA game they play today, that basketball game, is different than it was 20 years ago. There's more one-on-one, more just posting up. The three-pointer has changed the whole game, but it's still exciting. But still holds true to me in the NBA is that you just have to show up for the last 5 minutes of the game, and because they have so many different streaks in the NBA. You could be up by 20, and then the next quarter it's a tie game, and then they're up by 20, and you just have to watch it to the end. I like the playoffs, especially in the NBA. And that's when it gets exciting, and that's when it gets more physical. It's not as physical as it used to be either. They're trying to protect the players. They have the replay, which, I think it's okay, get the call right, but try to get it right the first time. And then NHL, well, if you ever watch a hockey game, these guys, it's amazing what they can do. They're on skates, by the way. They're on ice. I can't even stand up on skates. So I marvel at their ability to go up and down the ice, to skate backwards, to shoot that puck. They're shooting it at this much of an opening over the goalie's right shoulder, and believe me, they're aiming for that. They practice that nonstop. I've seen hockey players take a puck and hit a mark like a marksman from 100 feet away. They're amazing. Same thing with the way Steph Curry can shoot a three-pointer. So NBA versus NHL. And plus, the NHL to me is an exciting sport from the beginning to the end because there's hitting. What other sport, when you get into a fight where they say, take 5 minutes, sit in that corner, and then you can play again? There's no other sport like it. Any other sport, when someone starts swinging and there's a fight, they get thrown out of the game, they get fined, they get suspended. And I'm not saying that fighting in hockey is good or bad. I'm just saying it's hockey, and it's pretty darn exciting. So what do you prefer? The NBA, the excitement of running up and down the court, and again, both sports are populated by tremendous athletes. Of course, football players are tremendous athletes, baseball players, tennis players, rugby players, soccer players. You got to be in great shape. To me, basketball, if you ever ran up and down a court maybe 2 or 3 times, unless you're in fantastic shape, you're going to stop and catch your breath. These guys go nonstop. And the same thing with hockey. Although they shift every minute and a half, 2 minutes is a rare shift because they're going all out on skates. What's your favorite? It used to vacillate for time. I preferred the NBA, but I prefer the NHL. I prefer watching hockey. It's exciting. And I just watched the Golden Knights win the Stanley Cup, which is, to me, still the most prestigious trophy to win in sports. But the NBA ain't bad either. So that's my versus today, NBA versus NHL. I welcome your comments, and I ask you to keep watching Live Life 365 and all my social medias, and tell people about it. Until next time, peace.
Live life 365.
Today, the versus is NFL. Wrong. Me? I prefer the NFL right now. Yeah, maybe I got this cough from going to the arena where the Golden Knights play. Goodbye, funny man. Goodbye.